Welcome to the North Shore of Oahu for the final stop of the Samsung Galaxy Championship Tour. This is the Billabong Pipe Masters in memory of Andy Irons, and welcome to Dawn Patrol. Today on the show, we will go over some big things. First of all, we'll get a special guest, Dave Wassel, local boy, North Shore lifeguard. We'll be having a chat with Ronnie Blakey. Also getting into some great stories with Jadson Andre, coming back from a huge season to requalify in a dramatic way at Sunset Beach. He'll join us here on the desk. Then we'll really focus on requalification for the QS standouts. That'll be rookies next year, and for the people are going to be really under pressure here to compete at Pipe for their job on the line. Joe Turpel with a couple of the legends of the sport. Local boy, former finalist at Pipe, Ross Williams. How are you, Ross?
Good morning, Joey.
Good to see you. Strider Wazalewski, one of your favorite waves out here. Have you been enjoying some free surfs the last couple days?
Lots of free surfs, fun times out here. It's always fun when they call the contest off for us.
Yeah, really interesting, even on small days, how much surf time you really can get on the North Shore. Ross, you have a couple spots you hold close to your chest, but oftentimes you're spotted here at the sandbar with everyone else.
I love it. My girls go to school across the street, so that's my routine, Joey. I just drop them off and get a couple waves at Gums, and over our shoulder right now, Bretta Potts is waiting for a wave.
Yeah, loving seeing that. Obviously, Strider, you always keep a close eye on social media. It's kind of turned into a tool where we know what the world's best are up to, as you've been spotting some really good Instagrams from the top surfers in the world.
Well, you know, these lay days just create, great moments for everybody. The North Shore is such a fun place to hang out, and there's so much to do. Old Toledo got himself some new boards, threw him up on top of the Jeep, and he's pretty stoked. Old Sharp Eye just busting him out for him. He's pumped.
Really cool to see Felipe Toledo out here once again. He actually was in Maui before with his family, hopped on over. Ryan Callanan, rookie on tour, enjoying the opening ceremony that was led by Tony Moniz.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Lindy Aarons down there with Axel, and just a great way to open the event.
Axel's birthday all at the same time on the opening day. Jordy Smith, fresh off a huge win at the Vans World Cup. When you win, happy things happen. Shave ice. How often do you have shave ice, Rob?
I love shave ice. It's kind of a novelty thing, honestly, but there's just a moment there that just says Hawaii, and I love it.
I don't mind shave ice.
When was your last one?
Not that long ago, actually. Maybe like a month ago. The zucchini beans and vanilla ice cream at the bottom. That's the tip.
There we go. Nat Young, Santa Cruz. He calls it a heavy selfie, but what we've learned from Strider, there's nothing bad about posting a selfie. Your followers want to see what you're up to, right?
They want to see you, yeah. There's nothing wrong with showing everybody out there that you are still alive and in the mix.
Seabass also joining the Haleiwa Christmas parade last night. Ross, you were there?
So much fun. Just the perfect amount of funkiness. It's a small town parade, but I love that theory from Seabass. That's a great idea. Maybe we can get WSL behind and get a surfer float going down the parade.
Oh my goodness.
Now we're talking. We're talking about selfies.
Get the Waz up there on the float.
I'd be all about it.
Hawaii is such a good place to post. The colors work for themselves. Brilliant things to do. Even when the waves are smaller, the water's warm, and the world's best get so many different choices to warm up with. Speaking of warming up, let's see if the trials will be out. First thing in the morning, we'll say good morning to Rosie Hodge and Deputy Commissioner Renato Hickel.
Good morning, boys. Well, I'm here with Deputy Commissioner Renato Hickel, and Renato, just looking at the conditions on hand, we've had a few lay days and it's starting to sink in. Are we going to see contests getting underway?
Unfortunately not, Rosie. Not today. Again, very small conditions here at Pipeline, and we're going to call the competition off again, and we're going to try again tomorrow, same time, 7:30 a.m. local time, Hawaii. And yeah, fingers crossed that day by day we're going to have to cherry pick the swell. What do we have of this swell? We know when we have more swell, we're going to have issues with wind. Maybe onshore winds, especially in the afternoon. So it's going to be a tricky one, but we'll get there.
And on 7 miles of the North Shore, we're always bumping into the competitors. I'm sure you have a few words with them. What's the anticipation like waiting for this contest to run?
There is a lot on the line still, on the rankings, on the qualification for a lot of the guys, and obviously everybody wants to do good in this event. It's the most iconic event on tour, and you can feel, everybody's like, the longer we go, the more anticipation builds for the competitors. And but there's a lot to do. What maybe not many people know at home is that Pipeline, even when Pipeline is that small, the North Shore has incredible array of options of waves to surf, and the surf is being pumping, so everybody's happy because the conditions are good. It's unusual light winds and overcast, but really clean conditions, so the surfers are making the most of it.
Well, a lot of opportunity for us to get in the water, and let's also take this opportunity to have a look at the Surfline forecast.
Thank you very much, Rosie and Renato Hickel. Off again, so a series of lay days to kick things off. As we know, we want the trials to be in epic conditions because we have names from Billy Kemper, two-time Piahi Challenge champ, Makuakai Rothman from the big wave realm, and also some younger standouts, Griffin Colapinto, Jack Robinson, who got his way through. So it's in a very important round of competition. On the surf lane forecast, Ross, anything that we're going to be excited about?
Well, you know, Renato kind of nailed it. It does look tricky, and what's cool about it is that it's going to flare up both parts of our favorite wave here at Backdoor and Pipe. The first swell on Monday, it's going to be probably in that zone where Backdoor could have some potential good waves, and then the second swell later in the week, as you see right there, that big old blob, that's when we're looking at traditional pipe strider.
Yeah, you know, those west-northwest direction for pipeline is just exactly what you want, and that's what you got coming. Hopefully this swell that comes around the corner, you know, Monday, Tuesday has the wind, you know, follow suit, but it doesn't look like. So we're gonna, you never know though, Mother Nature could change in that 6 to 10 and you know, 6 to 9 there on Tuesday. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe the winds will clock around more east and we can have a good running day that day.
So hoping that we'll get the contest underway very soon for the Billabong Pipe Masters, where there's a lot of heroes in the event and really just around the North Shore of Oahu. We always talk about Eddie Aikau, and his legacy is he charged big waves and loves to save lives. That's his job. Coming up next on the show, we've got North Shore lifeguard and local surfer hero Dave Wassel with Ronnie Blakey on the set.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. I am joined by a good friend of mine, and I want to say this, Dave. Thank you to you and your mates, all the lifeguards on the North Shore, for protecting us visiting surfers and the locals here, obviously. Thank you, Dave Wassel.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm just lucky that I get to work with the best people in the world, including yourself.
Oh, thank you. Hey, let's talk a little bit about lifeguarding on the North Shore, because it is such a crucial job. All the surfers here really do feel a lot safer with you guys watching them. How did you get into the gig?
I got into the gig because it's another way to get paid to be on the beach. But realistically, you know, the waves are dangerous here, and we just need, it's nice to have somebody looking out for you.
Definitely. Talk to me about just the people that you work with, because there's some great surfers amongst your ranks and also some very experienced watermen.
Speaking of great surfers, we have Mikey Bruno, who's a partner of mine. He's in the trials, and he'll be ripping it up on day one.
No doubt. And what's the road to get into this job? Obviously, you've got to be a very strong swimmer. You've got to have fantastic ocean awareness.
You really just have to be able to earn the respect of your peers. That's really what it is. Everybody can run, jump, and swim. Everybody's a great surfer. But the thing that sets people apart in the North Shore Lifeguard Association is that when something goes wrong, they're racing you to that situation. You're never alone.
Definitely. The perils of surfing on the North Shore, even jumping into the shore break for a swim, you see it every day. What are some of the dangers?
You know, some people joke around about it, but it's very serious. It goes from 0 to 100 really fast. We're very lucky to have beat Durbridge back competing in this event, and Owen Wright is still out with severe head trauma from last year. So my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. I love the guy. I can't wait to see him back.
Definitely. And where's your station? And what are you fixated on? What are you watching for when people go down on a wave?
I'm waiting for everybody to go home. The bottom line is my job is making sure, my job and my partner's jobs are making sure that everybody goes home at night, and that's it. I'm stationed out here on the North Shore. There is no bad tower. Every single one of them is a corner office with a wave going off in the backyard.
I love it. Tell me a little bit about the history of lifeguards on the North Shore.
History of lifeguards. Everybody knows Eddie Aikau. Everybody knows his brother Clyde. Those are the very first 2 lifeguards. They're stationed at Waimea, accredited with never losing a life. Nowadays that we have 8.5 million visitors, it's teamwork. Just like you depend on your partners, I depend on mine.
Now Dave Wassel is one of the best big wave surfers. One of the craziest waves I've ever seen ridden was that wave in Fiji that you had during that mega swell out there. Tell us a little bit about that wave and where it sits in your memory bank.
That's very nice of you. I think every dog has its day. I was lucky enough to be there commentating with you, and the surf got really big. And I convinced my boss that I didn't have to be on the microphone all day. I got to go out and catch one wave.
Beautiful, Dave. Well, I want to say again, a big thank you to you for coming on the show.
Cheers, always a pleasure.
For watching out for us, and make sure you say good day to the lifeguards when you're here on the North Shore. Stay with us, because coming up next, we're going to have Jadson Andre on the show. Yeah, brother.
Welcome back to Dawn Patrol, here for the Billabong Pipe Masters. Great hearing from local lifeguard Dave Wassel, keeping a close eye on everybody here on the beach. Contest is off, but it's a great chance to catch up with one of the most heroic performances we've seen in a long time. Jadson Andre joining Ross and I on the set. First of all, Jadson, congratulations getting back on tour.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
What an amazing run it's been. Qualifying back in 2010, winning an event, and that was kind of before you really were speaking English really well, and we were just trying to get to know you at the time. After that, you saw you fall off and re-qualify again. What about this year? What made this one so special, re-qualifying?
Oh, yes. In the middle of the year, I really thought that I was going to fall off again because what happened in 2012, the year that I fell off on tour, was happening everything again. Exactly the same thing. Injuries, like close hits. I was trying really hard to surf my best, and actually I was, but not the way I really wanted. And everything was really hard for me at that time. So, especially after the hit I had in Portugal, I was like, oh, I think I will have to fight again on the QS next year. And for some reason, I made this.
What an amazing run, Jadson, going from the 70s rankings in the QS before the 6,000 in Brazil to put yourself in a fighting shot to requalify. We're going to bring up that image of your face when you found the news that it was official. Were you doing the math in your head in between heats? Because we could tell the passion was there.
I wasn't really doing math, but I knew that
you did mean it.
I was
Al Hunt said you're in.
I was competing against. That was funny. I was competing against Zeke and Jack, and they were surfers. I mean, I wasn't like last hit of the round, and they were the first hit. So we like when they made it, when they hit, they were top 10. So every single round, I had to surf last and make my hit to get the spot, and was like, to be honest, when Jack and Zeke made to the semis, I saw my hit against Jody, Joe, and Eta. I was like, okay, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I really trust all the way to the end. Like the odds, it really was against me, because I'm not going to compare myself at Sunset with Jody and Joe and Nathan. But I trust all the way to the end, and 2 minutes ago I had probably one of the best waves I ever surfed at Sunset, and I made my hit, and I was like, okay, I'm safe now. I thought like I'm safe now, but at the same time I wasn't sure until the guy came to me a little bit like, you made it. I was like, did I really? So for 10 seconds I had that whole like moving my head and my mind for what I came through this year, and was such a great moment for me.
Hey Jaddy, I don't know if many people know this, but you fought through a big portion of this year with a knee injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, first I had an ankle injury at the Bells Beach with a big late hit on the inside against what's his name?
Inside of your knee.
No.
Oh, back at Bells.
Back Bells. I was surfing against. Yeah, thanks, Joe. I was surfing against corner, and we had such a close hit, and I need to bet on a low 5. So I had a wave, and I really need to make the last turn, and it was a big session, and I was late and make a lot of pressure on my back foot to make the turn, and the wave was stronger than me, and like my ankle exploded. So I had to go back to Brazil and try to recover, and I didn't really had enough time to do it. So because of my ankle wasn't really strong, wasn't good, I was really forcing my knee. I don't really know how to explain, but I was forcing my knee a lot, and right before Tahiti I popped my knee at home, so I had 2 injuries. I still have it, but now I'm gonna have enough time to trade before I start the year next year.
Well, Jadson, we know how much this means as an athlete to keep your dream job as part of the top 34. You truly deserve it. But tell us what requalification really means for your family back home.
Yeah, means a lot for my family and for me, because pretty much all the money I made right now is from the contest, and I'm the guy who take care of all my family, like my dad, my mom, my brothers, my sister, my nephew. So if I fell off on tour, I was going to have such a hard time as a professional surfer, and as a guy who take care of the family. So that's what give me a lot of strength to do this comeback. And for the whole time I was surfing, I was competing. Always when I was praying before my hit, that's the thing that comes to my mind. So I was fighting for my family, not just for my job, above everything for my family.
Unbelievable. It's so great to catch up with you on the set here, Jadson Andre, as we wish you best of luck in the Pipe Masters. We're going to talk about the requalification after this, so you can stick around if you have time, and we'll focus on that cutoff line to requalify for next season as Dawn Patrol continues. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Dawn Patrol. Joe Turpel alongside former CT Ripper Ross Williams and Jadson Andre requalifying, leaving it to the last event at Sunset Beach to keep the dream alive. Well, Ross, I was really focused on your updates for that requalification talk from Haleiwa to Sunset Beach, two of your personal favorite waves on the North Shore. But this season was really interesting. Guys that were within the cut when Haleiwa started fell dramatically out of it with some big performances.
It happens every single year. You know, there's so much points involved. It's 20,000 points. You're going to see that guys that'll come in from having a year-long, surfing potentially beach breaks. All of a sudden they surf big Haleiwa and big Sunset. And it's so different to compete that way rather than doing big airs. You're trying to survive big water. Jadson, what was the keys to success for you, kind of tackling Haleiwa and Sunset? How'd you get it done?
I don't really know. I knew.
Went out there and
yes. I mean, I just knew to catch two waves every single hit, and Haleiwa is special Sunset, but Haleiwa it's more about you to find the right wave. Even when we compete in like with the big Haleiwa, there is a lot of current, a lot of backwash going on. So you just need to make sure that you're gonna get the right wave and surf. And as you said, two primes in the end of the year, and everybody knows that a lot of things are gonna change here in Hawaii. I feel bad for the guys who were like in the cut line and they drop, but I'm stuck for myself.
Well, Jadson, for you, you've had years where you finished 21st, you finished 22nd a couple of times in your career. What's the best advice you can give to surfers like Nat Young, Keanu Singh, who are right on that cutoff mark heading into pipe?
Yeah, I think if you don't relax and you don't focus on your thing, if you overthink, I think you're done. I think that's what happened last year for me. I really overthink about pipe. I was number 20, not safe, but I was in a good spot to requalify how can I say?
Requalify.
Yeah, to requalify for next year. And I really overthink about it. I didn't really surf. I had a sick wave against Sebastian, and I was too excited, and I fell right in the end. That would be a 9-point ride easy, and I fell. So if you don't relax and you don't focus on your thing, you're not gonna surf. Not gonna surf good. So the point is relax and do your thing.
So Jadson, now that you're safe, you're qualified, tell us about your role as a potential double qualifier and what that would mean for someone like Ezekiel Lau.
Yeah, I really want to make a couple hits here in pipe. One of my dreams is win pipeline. I know it's not easy, but it's gonna be fun for me because I will surf without any pressure. That was kind of like a dream before this event to know that I'm saving the rating because I'm number 25 and I need a good performer here. So I know Zeke gonna be by my side.
Definitely.
But yeah, I really gonna surf to try to win the contest. So maybe it's gonna be good for me because I'm not gonna overthink this time and just gonna enjoy it out there.
Great insight there, because Ross, you were talking about double qualification. That means guys like Zeke, number 11 on the QS, if he had double qualifiers, then he would get the call up as an official rookie next year.
That's right. So not only Jadson yourself, but even Jeremy Flores has an outside chance, and then of course his good buddy Kuno Igarashi. So Zeke's going to be a pretty interested spectator, isn't he?
Yeah, he will be like, come on guys.
Cheering.
Yes.
Jadson, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. Best of luck in the Pipe Masters, but remember, you're also in that top 5 picture on the rankings for a triple crown of surfing, which could then keep that title in Brazil with Medina winning last year. You'll be seeing Jadson Andre in the main event, and he'll be back on tour in 2017. Thanks for watching Dawn Patrol. Join us tomorrow on Monday, special edition, as we catch up with the biggest comeback. Beat Durbridge back in the Jersey a year after a terrible wipeout. See you then.